Hello and welcome to NewFilmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny De Lillo and we're here at the Cambridge Los Angeles showroom in West Hollywood, and I'm here with Cassell A. Ferere and Geneva Manley with their movie Identity. Let's take a look at a clip. Guys, welcome to the studio. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tell us a brief synopsis of your film.
Well, the film kind of follows this woman on her psycho-transformative journey where she is caught in her own distress. She is trying to find herself in a way, and she's doing it through where she is in her reality, where she wants to be in her dreams, and this fantasy that kind of shows you her following this light to this place where she wants to be in her life. And it's more so a struggle between her inner self and her physical world. You know, she's suffering from a disease, and she's challenged with the things that that would put on her physically and emotionally.
Well, it's a beautiful film. If you guys have seen it, if you haven't seen it, it's really beautiful, and it took me on a real journey, and it's one of my favorites to see because it just really takes you there. I'm so curious, where was your kind of inspirations behind the film?
I am a dancer. I've been a dancer for a while.
And she's really, really good.
Thank you. I'm a contemporary postmodern dancer.
Uh-huh.
And this was a very organic process. I came to Cassell and said, this is a story that I'd like to tell. I need someone who's as brilliant as you with your shots and the way you tell stories to work with me. So it's interesting because it's a very art imitates life kind of thing. We wanted to tell a story about a woman going through a struggle. But what ended up happening was about 2 days after we shot the initial dance scene, I was diagnosed with something called Stevens-Johnson syndrome. And basically that's where you get the idea of this struggle, because it was a very real struggle. Stevens-Johnson syndrome is a very rare disease that it can come through multiple different types of ways, but I got it through taking a medication that I wasn't supposed to have been given. And you can die. You can have all of your skin fall off, and you can go blind. It's a very scary, traumatic experience. And so literally 2 days after we shot, I was in the hospital for 2 weeks, and they told me that I might not live. So what was interesting about it is that the struggle really did come true. We wanted to tell a story about a woman going through something, and the dance itself, the music is actually by my cousin, who is a conductor, the classical conductor. His name is Marlon Daniel, and he worked with a world-renowned composer named Hampson Sisler, and they got together and made the Second Coming album, and it's a very religious undertone. Mm-hmm. But the title of the film, or the title of the score, is called Pestilence, and pestilence means plague. So again, art imitating life. My body became plagued 2 days after I danced to it. So you see my cheetah spots?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
These
cheetah
are
spots, I love it.
Yeah, these are my. I'm healing.
Yeah.
To heal from Stevens-Johnson syndrome, it takes about 2 years. And so basically the inspiration from the film was initially a creative one, but then it took a very real turn, and that's where you get kind of the under dialogue of the poem in the beginning.
Yeah.
This shirt that I'm wearing.
Let's take a look. Yeah, if you can see.
It says, "Perhaps the butterfly is proof that one can go through a great deal of darkness and still become something beautiful."
Wow.
And this was actually written by an SJS survivor.
Wow.
And I just found it very uncanny that another SJS survivor pulls from this idea of a butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
And we had already been talking about butterflies and caterpillars and the
transition.
metamorphosis of dealing with who you are, because I couldn't move. My skin had completely gone raw. I looked nothing like this.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like this. My face was raw. My lips were raw. And I had anemic-like symptoms where I couldn't walk. So my stamina is still building. And so this whole idea of being caught in a dream world is very real, because I was on the verge of wanting to dance and take off in that way through my artistry. And now I'm forced to be still and silent for another year. So I'm kind of literally watching a dream world that I would like to engage in, but I can't because my stamina doesn't allow it yet.
But thank you for sharing
That was
that.
a lot.
No, that was absolutely perfect and beautiful, and I'm very honored, and we all are, that you shared that story with us. And what's so amazing is that you shared a story that is insanely close to you, and you did it through the moving image, and you're such an advocate for people that are suffering and survivors. And what a beautiful way to be able to share your experiences, and also be someone that other people can look up to that have gone through the same thing as you or something similar. I mean, wow, just amazing, right? How did you feel, working with Geneva and making a movie that's kind of so touching to the heart?
Well, for me, it was, just being sensitive to her situation, and then also, she was just strong throughout the whole process, very involved, the way I would like to work on a film. And, just when it happened, it was more so like, let's not let it deter us from making this film, There's, we actually shot the wood scene post that, and, she came on set, she did the makeup to make it look, as if she were still in that, normal state, normal state of being healthy. But even still, just there, she, we got through it. I made sure she was okay, made sure she was comfortable in everything she was doing, because it was a lot, just for her to, you see her pushing through the woods, and I'm really, concerned about just her skin and her fragility in making the, just the whole scene itself. But for me, all the things that came together, and this usually happens that way when I make films, where it's just everything falls into place, and I don't try to control it as much, but I do try to just ride it like a wave and use it to help tell the story.
Now I'm so happy and honored that you share this with us at New Filmmakers Los Angeles, because it's such a heartfelt story, and you guys work extremely well together. What is it like after all the hard work and emotional and physical struggle and everything that you've been through to be officially selected for New Filmmakers Los Angeles?
It's always a great feeling. You put your hard work, your effort, your everything into making a film, and then someone says, hey, we liked it and we want to show it in this festival. And for me, that's just it's the biggest relief, you just you take the deep breath and exhale. It's oh, I did something right. And it just it for me, it's it's all passion. I know you asked yesterday what was the budget like in making the film, and I kind of just just listen, man, we just wanted to make a film. If it costs whatever, we just found the money somewhere. Like we're just breaking piggy banks along the way, you know. But like even just her, she had to travel back and forth between Brooklyn and Chicago, and you know, coming back and forth. Oh, I'm here for a week. All right, we're gonna schedule shoot these scenes. I'll lay it out, and we'll just go in and do it. You know.
Context, real quick. With the healing process, I couldn't take care of myself, so I had to go back home to Chicago for about 4 or 5 months.
Wow.
And have my family take care of me. So I did come back for a little bit, and that's what he's talking about. That I came back.
You came back, so you were going through, going through the process of different things during the making of the film.
Yeah. So I just wanted to
No, that's perfect.
How is it? I mean, this is your story in front of an audience. How does it feel to have your film selected, which is such a personal, subject for you?
Again, I'm a vessel. I mean, to me, this is everyone's story in some way. This is God's story. I'm just here to allow something that was crazy to turn it into something that can be beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Just beautiful in a way that it can help someone in some way. So from that perspective, I'm just happy that my dancing can allow that to happen. And I think, just for any SJS survivor, because it's not something that anyone really talks about or knows about, I think it's a great space for there to be a little bit of awareness.
No, I think it's fantastic, and everybody should see this film. And if they're going through a certain suffering, and I think the word vessel is exactly the right word, because everyone is relating to your film in their own way and learning something new and an experience and a struggle. And it was delivered so beautifully. You guys are fantastic filmmakers. And you're from the East Coast and the Midwest, so you journeyed over to the West Coast. So thank you very much for being here. But what's next for you guys?
Well, for me, it's more trying to find characters to tell more of these stories, or just to tell unique stories in that the dialogue, the narrative is outside of what would be considered normal. Like even watching the film, I know people probably were a little confused in watching it, but for me, that was a beautiful take where it's like, the viewer is rattled. It's the viewer is like unfamiliar with these grounds. And if I can do that more so with a longer story, a more in-depth story, like that to me is where I'm going right now in writing and in filmmaking in general.
Perfect.
I have a knack for making silent films, and I've found it to be someplace where I'm comfortable. So I think for the next one, I want to try to combine these elements of a silent and with dialogue, and try to make something just as unique, but still, keep the viewer on edge, and keep them thinking.
Can't wait to see it. Very excited. What's next for you, Geneva?
So, I'm a performer by heart. I've been one since I was a ridiculous kid. And so, for me, any space of being a performing artist, dancer, actress, I like bringing something, again, through me to the audience. So honestly, right now I'm just healing. Yeah. And I'm just being quiet and listening. But I know that my focus will stay somewhere within performing and creating art.
You guys, thank you so much for sharing your story with us and delivering it in such a beautiful way. You had a fantastic film, so congratulations, and we look forward to seeing more of your work very soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.